Listen, I have crashed out enough for the both of us, so let me save you the crash out. I was married at 27, and by the time I was 29, I filed for divorce. Here are the top 3 things that I wish somebody would have set me down and said before I even accepted an engagement, and maybe it'll save you some heartache and pain. The mental health, the beliefs, the morals, the character of your spouse's family matters just as much as theirs, especially immediate family like mom, dad, brothers, sisters, because those are the people who you are going to be around the most. And if your morals, if your beliefs, if your mental health does not align with theirs, you're going to experience conflict. When you come in as a person challenging someone's patterns and family cycles, you are most likely going to be perceived as the enemy, especially if your spouse does not have your back. Number 2, if they make a lot of money, but they don't ever have money, that is a red flag. If they are pulling money out of retirement and out of savings to uphold a lifestyle, run as fast as you can in the opposite direction. Because if somebody is justifying that they should have nice things, but your bills are not paid, you're going to have a problem. Because when bills are not paid, that is additional stress, and you have to decide, do you want to marry someone who is willing to put you in financial strain for the sake of them having something they simply cannot afford? Are you willing to clean up someone else's financial messes? And number 3, this can be applied to all aspects of your life, not just relationships. But if something feels off, then it is off. Don't you ignore it. Don't try to overlook it. Don't try to make excuses for it. If it ain't right, it ain't right. One of the biggest past regrets that I have, but the most amazing life lesson that I learned, is that struggling in silence kept me bound to someone who I should not have been with. Struggling in silence had me thinking I was crazy. Meanwhile, the only person who was giving me advice was the same person who was hurting me. Bible says a fool is right in his own mind, but a wise man listens to advice. You have to talk to your family and friends about what you are going through and choose them wisely. Look for people who will give you sound advice. Look for people who will give you the hard, hurtful truth, but not talk about you behind your back. You need somebody to sit you down and keep it real with you. But you can't tell everybody what you're going through, because then the whole block will know. You are not the first person who has found themselves in a horrible relationship where years down the line you feel completely duped by somebody. And most of all, ask God to give you a sign, and He will do it immediately.
Imagine this, you just had your dream wedding, the plan was perfect, the vibes were top tier, and you are finally settling into your new life. You would think you are stepping into a lifetime of soft landing and romantic bliss, but then a few months in, reality starts to hit. You wake up one random Tuesday and you realize you didn't just marry a man, you married his habits, you married his traumas, you married his family's opinion. Suddenly, that happily ever after starts requiring a whole lot of heavy lifting that you never signed up for. The fairy tale completely vanishes and you are left looking at each other thinking, literally nobody mentioned this to us. Now, hey baddies, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about things that I wish I was told before getting married. Now, this video is coming from married women and those who are divorced. They are sharing what they wish they knew before getting married. I also wish I was told some of these things before getting married, because what? So yeah, if you like this type of video, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe and share, and it will help you if you're somebody who is newly wedded or you are somebody who is looking into marriage, so that you know what to expect. And if they didn't tell you some of these things, well, now we are telling you right now. So do not forget to like, comment, subscribe and share, and let's get straight into the video.
At the age of 54 and 2 divorces later, let me give you the marriage advice I wish that I had listened to. Love is not enough. Marry for character, not just chemistry. You're not just marrying them, you're marrying their habits, their debt, and their family drama. Marriage will never fix loneliness. The wrong person will make it worse. You can't marry potential. You're not a life coach, you're a spouse. Being alone is way better than wishing you were. The right person will make you feel safe. The wrong one will make you feel small. We'll figure it out is not a financial plan. Some people don't want love. They want control. Learn the difference. You should be excited to marry them, not just relieved that they finally committed. Be prepared to marry the whole family. Period. Hope that helps.
Things I wish someone would have told me before I got married. My husband and myself have been married 38 years. And if I could go back and tell my younger self something, these are the things I would tell her. You're not just marrying the person. You're marrying everything that has shaped them, their upbringing, their patterns, their habits, the things they don't even realize they carry. And you will too. That's why grace isn't optional. It's necessary. Number 2, love is not enough, baby. Love is the foundation, but shared values is what holds everything together. Because when your values don't align, love alone will make it feel like you're working overtime. Number 3, learn how to disagree without tearing each other down. Because you will disagree, but respect has to stay in the room, even when emotions are high. Number 4, you two will both change completely. The person I was at 18 is not the woman that I am today. And he is not the same man either. The goal isn't to stay the same. It's to grow and choose to grow together. Number 5, the small things. They're not small. They're everything. A door open, dishes washed, holding hands. A simple, I thought about you today. Those are the things that keep love alive. Number 6, you have to learn each other's love language. For me, it's being heard and acts of service. For him, it's touch, it's closeness, it's connection. And love only works when both people feel seen. And last, marriage is a daily choice. There'll be days you don't feel it. Days it's hard, days that you're tired. But the marriages that last are the ones you choose each other anyway. Every single day. Be blessed.
As a divorced woman, this is what I wish someone told me before marriage. Number 1, don't choose the person you love. Choose the person who loves you. Love alone is not enough if respect, effort, and consistency are missing. Number 2, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. You can't change them. Number 3, don't make him your whole world. Have your own life. When a relationship ends and they were your everything, your whole life comes crumbling down. Number 4, never quit your job or your career for any man. Always have your own money because you might need it someday. Number 5, never show a man that you can help him financially. Let him be the man. When the roles are reversed, it builds resentment. Number 6, marry a man who can provide and protect you. Someone who can pay the bills, not just financially stable, but also financially smart. Number 7, don't move in with his family unless it is absolutely necessary. Number 9, don't get pregnant because he wants a child. Get pregnant because you want one and you are emotionally and financially stable to have one.
Here are 10 things that I've learned about marriage from someone who's been divorced since 2008. Number 1, who he is now is who he's going to be even after you guys get married, and there is a great chance that he's going to become an even worse version of who he is now. There is no magic that happens once you guys leave the ceremony. There is no magic that happens after you leave your honeymoon. You are still very much the same people you were before those events take place. The second thing is, don't believe in the exception to the rule story. I totally understand that you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, or you saw the TikTok or the YouTube video of a woman who accepted something toxic or ignored something that's normally a red flag in a man, and now they've lived happily ever after, and they have 2.5 kids, and they've been married since 1998. It's either one of 3 things. Either 1, they really did turn out fine and everything actually did turn out great. But actually, it's more than likely going to be one of the 2 other things.
The first one being she's lying, and she needs you to believe that she made a good decision because she so desperately needs to believe that she made a good decision because she's realized over the years that she didn't make a good decision. Or 3, it's a situation where they just kind of are existing together. Nobody's going to file for divorce because she's at least happy to be married and he's benefiting from the relationship in some way, so they're just kind of existing together. If you overlook or accept something that is unhealthy or is a red flag, there is a high, very high chance that it will not turn out well for you. If you are blessed with a red flag being handed to you on a silver platter, acknowledge it and run in the other direction. Third thing is, the worst financial decision that a woman can make is to be financially dependent on a man. I get it. There's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom. Some of you might have to be because of this crazy economy that we live in. But what I need you to do is, before you get married, get paperwork, get a prenup in place that if the crap hits the fan and things don't work out, he will have to continue to pay the bills for you for X amount of time so that you are not out on the street or scrambling before you go on maternity leave or become a stay-at-home mom. I need you to have money saved up. I also need you to be honest with yourself and know when it is time for you to go back to work. I don't want you scrambling and selling weight loss shakes because you guys have to figure out a way to make ends meet. In a perfect world, we could all stay home with our babies. I feel like it's important to have that bonding time with your child in their formative years, but unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world. And when the bills start piling up, your loving, supporting husband who wanted you to be a stay-at-home wife might not be so nice after a while. Sometimes a little bit of power goes to people's heads and he might start acting differently towards you because he feels like since he makes the money, he controls the money. You got to think about what happens if he becomes laid off or something financially catastrophic happens. Let me shake you up a little bit. We do not live in a Disney movie, okay, guys? This is the real world. I need you to put yourself and your children in a situation to where no matter what happens, you are going to be okay. If you don't care about yourself, fine, don't care about yourself, but at least make sure that your kids are going to be okay at all times. Number 4, it's not working on the relationship if you're the only one that's doing the working. You're the only one that's crying, begging, pleading, praying, seeing a therapist, looking up articles, watching TikTok videos, Googling things, having grace, being patient. It's not work if you're the only person that is doing it. It is a one-sided relationship and you are being taken advantage of. Number 5, do not turn your back on your friends. My friends over the years who have had the most happy, healthy relationships are the ones who still made time and hung out and talked to their friends. If you adopt this attitude of I'm married, I can't hang out with single women anymore, or my husband is all I need, those are the famous last words of a relationship that is doomed to fail. People love to say that we need community as an argument as to why relationships are absolutely necessary, but no, that statement just simply means we need people. You don't need romantic relationships to survive. If you and your husband fall apart, you will need your girls to come and lift you up and support you. There might just be times when you need to bitch and complain about something that might not be that serious, and you need your girls there to talk to, things that they would only be able to relate to. If all you got is your man, what happens if he decides to walk away? What happens if that relationship doesn't work out? What happens if something, God forbid, happens to him? Then what? Number 6, keep taking care of yourself. The number one thing that I hear from women when they email me at the end of their relationship is, I cannot believe I let myself go. I can't believe I stopped taking care of my skin. I can't believe I stopped taking care of my hair. I can't believe I gave up on myself, because we think that once we get a man, that's pretty much it. I've accomplished the goal. If you're only taking care of yourself to get a man, you're taking care of yourself for the wrong reasons, honey. Take care of yourself for you. Take care of yourself to be an example to your children of how confident they should feel and how they should invest in who they are as people. Number 7, you are not a maid, chef, therapist, personal assistant, be mindful of the things that he says he loves about you. Be mindful of how he treats you in that relationship. If you find out that it's a situation where you're just cooking and cleaning and running his errands for him and getting the gifts for his parents and doing all the things for him, congratulations, honey. He is with you because you are doing things for him, not because you're an amazing person, which you are, but he is fully 100% benefiting from this relationship, and that is why he is with you. I have heard so many women say, well, my boyfriend proposed to me, now I need to learn how to cook. Why? You need to continue being just exactly who you are. Cooking, cleaning, and taking care of a home is not wifely duties. That's shit that adults do. Adults, male, female, they, them, everybody, not just you because you're a woman. Number 9, do not stay for the kids. I remember being a child begging my mom to leave my dad, and we were so much more happy when she finally did. You are not doing your kids any favors by staying in a situation where you are not happy, because newsflash, kids are smart. They can tell when things are not right. They can tell when there's tension. They notice when you guys are avoiding each other. They can hear you guys when you think that they can't, when you guys are arguing. Trust me, your kids want you to be happy more than they want you to simply be married. And if by chance they are upset that the relationship is ending because they want mommy and daddy to stay together, that's fine. That's understandable. But sometimes things don't happen that we want to happen. Things don't always go your way. And if you're not happy, it's okay to walk away from that situation. And you're teaching your kids that, and you're teaching them boundaries, and you're teaching them how they should be treated and how they should act in a relationship if things go bad. Which leads me to the next thing. It is okay to end it, okay? It's okay. Divorce has such a bad stigma around it. Divorce does not mean you failed. You know what failing is? Staying in a relationship that's dead. Staying in a relationship that is causing you trauma and pain. That is failure. But success is making a plan to get out of those situations, leaving those situations, and being able to start over and stand on your own 2 feet if it means you being happy again. Number 10, and the last one, you will inherit whatever their financial status is. If they're broke, you're going to inherit a man that you're going to have to take care of financially, and you're going to inherit all his debts and all the bill collectors calling. If he's well off financially, you will benefit from that. If he's middle class, then you guys will benefit from whatever financial situation he is in, good, okay, bad. You will inherit that situation. It's not going to magically go away. Dual incomes does not necessarily mean more money. Now there's going to be 2 of you using the lights. Now there's going to be 2 of you eating the food. Now there's going to be 2 of you using the car if you only have 1 car. And if you have 2 cars, now there's 2 car notes and 2 insurance payments and 2 cars to put gas in. This is a bonus. Instead of listening to my list and telling me how it's not going to be you because you do this and you do that and you do this and you do that, I need you to actually listen to me and accept the fact that it very well could end up being you. And now I need you to put a plan in place on how you are going to protect yourself, how you are always going to come out okay. There's nothing wrong with falling in love. Marriage, all that stuff can be beautiful with the right person, but I need you to be smart. There's a famous quote that says, "The folly of youth is thinking that what happens to others will never happen to us."
Here's 5 things I wish I knew before I got married at the age of 25. Coming from someone who got divorced at 27. Number 1 is the idea of marriage means different things to different people. To me, marriage is a commitment. It's a commitment to spending life together forever. But to some people, it's just a really expensive ceremony and a piece of paper. To be fair, you can get married for many different reasons. Financial reasons, legal reasons, whatever the case may be. It's a commitment nonetheless. Number 2, and this may shock some of you, but getting married doesn't necessarily magically change your relationship. It's all relative to begin with, but for myself, I lived with my spouse prior to getting married. So I could understand if for religious reasons or personal reasons you guys didn't live together before, like that could be a massive step after marriage. Other than you calling him your husband, him calling you your wife, not a whole lot changes. And that brings me to my third point. Don't rely on marriage to save your relationship. If the problems were there before you get married, trust me, honey, it's just gonna get harder. It honestly sucks that I view marriage this way now, but like you're ultimately stuck with that person forever. So if the problems are there before you get married, before you sign that legal document that ties you guys together for the rest of your lives, they're only gonna build resentment and it's gonna be harder to leave. Number 4, and honestly, I truly think it takes being in a healthy relationship to see why this is so important. Communication truly is the cornerstone to a healthy, long-lasting relationship. You have to understand how you and your partner or your spouse communicate before you sign on to life together. Because if the communication's not there, it won't last. I'm telling you, marriage is work and it's hard work. If you two can't communicate, how is it ever going to feel like you're on the same team? Number 5, and probably the most important, don't ignore the red flags just because you're married. I will be the first one to say I do think it's easier to ignore red flags or not see them for what they truly are when you are the one in it. That's why I am such a huge advocate for therapy. Talking to someone that is just completely unbiased and can see the situation for what it is, all feelings and emotions aside. I'm telling you, the longer that you use, but we're married, oh, I can't see my life without this person, I can't live without my best friend, I can't survive without them. We're married. The moment you start using that as an excuse, the more it will hurt in the end. And as a 27-year-old divorcee, listen to me when I tell you, I said marriage was hard, divorce is even harder. Because you're not only saying goodbye to a person, you're saying goodbye to a life that you envisioned yourself living forever. Not only are you left without that person, you are left with all of the memories. All that said, over the last 2 years, I have learned more about myself than I ever thought possible. Hey, while I'm getting ready, I thought I would tell you guys everything I wish I knew before I got married at the age of 25. Starting off with a pretty obvious one. 25 is still extremely young. I was with my ex for 7 years, and instead of focusing on my age when I got married, I focused on how long we had been together. A scientifically proven fact that women develop faster than men, and you will notice that a lot in your 20s. Secondly, getting married honestly didn't change much about my relationship dynamic at all. Looking back on it, just because we were together for 7 years didn't mean we needed to get married. Another big one has to be don't ignore the red flags, especially early on in the relationship, because you'll notice they will always come back. I always get this question from people if I saw any red flags before my marriage ended, and the answer is not really, because I constantly ignored them. Because you've known someone for so long does not mean that they haven't changed in some way, shape, or form. Both do, especially in your 20s when you're fresh out of college, but sometimes you grow together and sometimes you grow apart. Me getting married at a young age, the wedding was a lot about socializing with all of my close friends and family who traveled, and it was less about me and him on the actual day. I would have waited a couple more years and got married a little older. I probably would have had a much smaller wedding and maybe even eloped, because it's about the experience for you two, not necessarily the experience for everyone else. I say red flags. Red flags can mean a lot of things, but they can also be external factors, like your significant other's family, how they were raised, or even their job. Now, some people may not understand the sanctity of marriage. When you marry someone, you make a commitment to them for life. That is what you're signing away when you sign a marriage certificate. What does it mean when you make a commitment to spend the rest of your life with someone? It means that essentially whatever they do, you do, or whatever impacts them impacts you. When you get married young, you're still fresh in your career. That means that you could have travel opportunities, they could have travel opportunities, you could move. I'm not saying any of these will make or break your marriage, but they're definitely added challenges, and when you're young, it's really hard to get past. Some people may disagree with me on this, but what you want in life changes every single year, especially in your 20s. Frontal lobe is still developing, babe. You may think you know what you want when you're 21 years old, but you don't. When you're 21, you have your whole life ahead of you. You don't really know what you want. You don't know what you want to do with your life, so you think, yeah, I could be a stay-at-home mom, get married young, have kids young. That remains your decision. I stand with you on that, but it's likely that you'll go through some things in life that might change your mindset about a lot of things. When you're young, it's so much easier to focus on the present and what's right in front of you versus looking so far ahead into the future. I graduated college, all I was focusing on was the fact that me and my ex were going to be doing 2 years of long distance, and once we got past that 2 years, I was like, great, what step is next? I was only 24 years old when he got promoted and moved. He never really asked me to move with him. It was just an expectation I had at that point in our relationship that I was going to move to where he is. Not only was I going to move across the country away from all of my family to a place I knew no one, but I also expected a ring as soon as I got there. It wasn't until 6 months after I moved that I finally got a ring, and I was upset it took that long. We were engaged for 1.5 years, and over that time frame, both of us changed so much. Each moved 3 different times, lived in 3 new cities together, and did things that you would think would naturally pull couples together, but ultimately it pulled us apart. That's literally what happens in your 20s. You move, you experience new things, you change as a person and as a couple. All of that being said, if and when I get married again, I will have a small wedding, I will be
eloping, and no red flags will be ignored. Oh, and here's the makeup.
Here are 5 things I wish I would have known prior to getting married. The first thing I wish I would have known is that marriage is what you make it. Marriage is all about what you make it and what you put in. What you put in is what you're going to get out. Like, every marriage has its own DNA, and that is so true. But it's also about the work that you put in to show that person you love them. And it should be a two-way street, of course. But marriage is what you make it. You have to invest in your marriage. You have to date the person you're with. You have to pour into them. You have to show them that you love them, and vice versa. The second thing I wish I would have known about marriage prior to getting married is that you cannot be selfish and be married too. Like, if you're going to be selfish, it probably is not going to last very long. But you have to be selfless in so many ways. And you have to think about the person who you're married to. You have to consider how they feel. You have to consider their emotions, and you have to be considerate. Like, before I got married, I was very self-centered. I was all about me. But now that I'm married, I see that even how Christ has marriage set up is about being selfless and about serving the other person as they serve you. So, yeah. The third thing that I wish I would have known about marriage is that you need to include God all throughout your marriage, not just in one portion, not just in one area, not just when things go wrong or you have a disagreement, but you should be including God in your marriage every single day. And I did not know that. I didn't know how important it is for you to pray over your marriage, for you to speak life over your marriage, for you to speak life into your partner, and to really just invite the Lord in and just thank him for the things that he does do and has done in your marriage. And so, but yeah, inviting God in every area, in the small areas, big areas, even in intimacy, inviting God in. So, yeah. The fourth thing I wish I would have knew prior to getting married is that it is important that you keep your family out of your marriage, okay? Keep your family out. I didn't know this until after I got married and went through counseling, but your family, you may forgive something, but your family is not going to forget. You're going to forget, but your family will not forget. And so it's better just to keep your family out of your marriage, keep the right people in, your counselors, your pastors, if you have them, but people who both you and your spouse trust and is rooting for both you and your spouse. And so I would tell anybody this, is just keep your family out. It's just best to keep your family out because they're going to be biased, whether we want to believe that or not. So, yeah. The fifth thing that I wish I would have known prior to getting married is that your body is not your own. I mean, according to the word of God, it says our body is not our own. The wife's body belongs to her husband, and the husband's body belongs to his wife. And we seek ways on how we may please and love one another. And so I did not know that, and I didn't realize, like, once I got married. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have a choice, or you can't say, like, if you're not comfortable with something, or, you know, vice versa. But you have to still consider, like, okay, you all are one flesh now. And so, yeah, so these are some things that I learned after I got married. If there are some things that you're still learning and you've just got married or you've been married for a while, comment down below because I would love to hear it. But yeah, these are my 5 things that I wish I would have known prior to being married.
This is somebody had asked me something, and I just said, I just got to tell you straight up, look, don't mind me, because I'm 47, so it's a hot flash. But listen, what I wish somebody would have told me when I was married as a Christian wife. I'm a widow now. What I wish they would have told me is, get you some ice, get you some stuff to get ready to put on your privacy, because he gonna want that coochie. I don't care if he a preacher, I don't care if he a bishop, I don't care if he do praise and worship, I don't care if he do the offering, I don't care what his role is. If he is a man of God, he gonna want that coochie, baby. And if he marrying you and he one of them good ones, and he come home and he do what he supposed to do, and he ain't out here in the streets, and he ain't got you out here looking foolish, and he taking care of you and them children, he gonna want some coochie, honey, because he got to get it from you. And if you can't give it to him, he gonna get it from somewhere. Please, no, he gonna get it from somewhere. Please understand, lady. So get your mind right. And if you can't, get there in your mind, and you had some stuff in your history, my book on Amazon, Sex and the Healing Power of God. Because he gonna want that coochie, baby. I wish somebody would have told me that when I was marrying. But I'm a widow now, so don't worry about it.
As someone who's been married for 3 months, so basically I'm still in the probation period, yeah? Let me tell you some things that I really wish that people told me before I got married. Okay, first things first. I really wish someone told me that nothing can prepare you for marriage other than being married. Now, that might sound weird, but like, have you ever had that experience where like, you can intellectually understand what it means to learn to drive, right? You can do the theory and everything, but you don't know how to drive until you drive, really. And that's, for me, in the past 3 months of marriage, that's what marriage has been like for me. Like, there's nothing that anybody could have told me that would have prepared me for being married. And that's not to say that the marriage is bad, because my marriage is sweet, honey, but nothing could have told me like how to prepare for our dynamic, how to prepare for being a wife, or how to just be married apart from actually being married. Second thing is, you always think you're right. There's nothing that anyone can tell you. You are always going to think you're right because of all the circumstances that has led to you being you at this point and the way that your brain works. You are going to think you're right. And actually, it takes so much effort to die to self and to really put the other person first. And I wish someone told me that. And they did, but I just don't think I really clocked into that. And the last thing is, and I'm actually really thankful for my family because they've been trying really hard with this, but this idea of transitioning from your family being your immediate family to now your husband or your wife being your immediate family. I didn't realize just how hard that transition would be. And it's just little soft things that you don't even realize, like, making plans for this thing, or like you'll be so used to your mum or something picking up on these things because you live together, and so they just know things, but you have to make an extra effort for your family to be aware of what's going on in your life because you're not living at home with them anymore. And so those are just 3 things that I've learned in 3 months of marriage that I wish I knew beforehand.
6 things I wish I knew before getting married. This video isn't to be negative at all. Marriage can be such a beautiful thing, but I do think there's certain things that especially women need to be aware of. Number 1, make sure that you're financially literate and that you can manage your finances by yourself if it so happened that you had to be self-reliant at any point. I've also heard so many stories about women who get stuck in certain situations because they are so financially tied to that person. Can turn into financial abuse as well. Number 2, I've said this before in a recent video, but it's not always necessary. For me anyway, I definitely felt like it was just like that natural progression. It was that point in my life where I felt like we should get married. I just had a child as well, so I felt like that's what you should do. Don't feel pressurized, especially if you're young and if you're in your 20s. Number 3, looking back at the amount of money that went on the wedding that I had, that money would have been so much better invested into a house. What all of these companies charge as well, as soon as they hear the word wedding, is just extortionate. Because I was quite young, I was just like, woo, It's also just really easy to get wrapped up in all of the extra bits and bobs for the wedding as well, like that you don't necessarily need. People aren't even going to notice and that you'll spend extra money on. Number 4, if you have a little gut feeling that is a no, please listen. In the society that we live in, I think we're so taught to just ignore our gut feeling, or that we're like overthinking as women, or being too emotional, or we sort of try to rationalize it. But looking back, I did have that. Listen to your intuition. Number 5, this is a bit more like wedding focused, but when I look back, I wish I had spent so much more time with the guests at the wedding. The day goes so quickly, like it feels like such a blur anyway. So it's always hard to use that time exactly how you thought you were going to use it. But I wish I had like sat with people more, chatted with them more, danced more, did do some of that. But I think it's nice as well to plan some time in the day where it's just you and your partner together, just one-on-one time. But take more pictures, ask other people there just to take loads of random pictures. Put Instax on the tables maybe. And lastly, but maybe the most important, love isn't enough for marriage. You have to have so much more there. You're marrying someone's character, their values, their debts, how much patience they have, how much tolerance someone has. You're marrying their effort that they put into you, into your children, into life. You're marrying their family as well. So these are things that I will be passing down as well. Also, bonus, random, but you don't need a whole flashy wedding to prove your love for each other. It's like usually is the opposite. Anyway, thank you for watching. I gotta go because I'm running out of time. If you have any others as well, please add them. Okay, bye.
5 things I wish I knew before I got married at 22. Number 1, don't get married at 22. You are too young. Some 22-year-olds are not too young, but I was too young. I honestly believe that I was trying to fill a void that only God could fill. And that's a terrible thing to say because, you know, there was other people's feelings involved. There was my feelings involved. There was families involved and things like that. But if I'm going to be honest with myself, I think I thought that marriage was the only thing that was going to create happiness inside of me. Number 2, do not marry into a family that does not like you. You are putting yourself through hell. You're just literally going to put yourself through hell. Like, the family doesn't have to be best friends with you, but if they really just do not like you, you're going to be fighting a battle for the rest of your life, because that's what marriage is, the rest of your life, with people that generally already are okay with not liking you. Don't do it. Number 3, you do not get to play build a husband. Like, who he is now is who he is, and it's probably going to get a little worse once you're with him every single day. So is this somebody that you're willing and able to spend the rest of your life with without trying to change? Number 4, if a man is telling you, I don't want to check phones, or I don't want to really post our relationship on social media, 9 times out of 10, he's thinking about getting out of the relationship, or he's talking to somebody that he shouldn't be talking to. You're not dumb. Stop all that, I'm a chill girl, I don't check phones. I don't even want to hear it, because the minute you actually open that phone and you stop being a chill girl, you'll see that you're a dumb girl. You're not a chill girl, you're a stupid girl. Number 5, marriage is a marathon, not a sprint. So not everyone's marriage is going to be like your marriage. Not everybody's relationship is going to look like your relationship. Some husbands are more lovey-dovey. Don't go telling your husband, why can't you be like her husband? She's like this, she's like that. You married that man. You knew he was a lovey-dovey. And now you try to create him to be something he's not. Now, of course, accountability is key, and if you really do feel like you're 22 and you're ready for marriage, get married. But as for me, I wish I knew these things before I actually went and signed my name on paper and became somebody's wife, and I was not mentally or emotionally prepared to be what I thought I wanted to be.
My husband and I have been married for almost 14 years, together for almost 17. And there are so many things I wish I knew before we got married. Here are a few of my favorites. Number 1, he is not responsible for my happiness. I came into our marriage thinking that he was going to make me happy. And I quickly realized that that was not what God intended marriage for. Creating a safe space for my happiness to thrive, that is what marriage is for. That was his job, and that was what he was doing. Number 2, don't make him what you want him to be, because it will take away from all that he is. Because if this is the person God sent to you, who this person is actually what you need. And it might take you a while to realize that. But trying to make them what you feel like you need is definitely going to take away from all the beauty and who they truly are. For instance, I want someone a bit more fiery, for lack of a better word. I need someone more fiery? Absolutely not. Why? Because I'm fiery enough. I needed a calm in the storm. Be prepared to do the work to make sure you are always deserving of the good man that they are. We as women are the prize. And I know that it's so shocking to hear, but a good man is the prize as well. That a good man and a good woman will be a good man and be a good woman, but will they be a good man and a good woman to you? That is all up to you. Loving your spouse, your wife or your husband, is a daily choice. Make sure you are always giving them a reason to stick around and fight it out with you. Number 4, leaving and cleaving is not just for the men. We must remember that once we get married, our spouse becomes our number 1 priority. Not to say that your parents or your siblings, cousins, and uncles are not just as important. You got to take care of your home first before you can take care of the homes outside of yours. Number 5. It is okay if he parents different than you. It's okay. Children need balance. Both of y'all can't be bad cop. Both of y'all can't be good cop. Somebody has to give these children peace while the other gives the children structure. Now, does the one giving the children structure never give them peace? No. What they're supposed to be doing, then you could be, mother of the year, father of the year, whatever you want to be. Does that mean that the one that gives them peace never gives them structure? No, because then that's when those kids don't run over you. As long as it does not break you looking like a team in front of your children, it's okay. At the end of the day, our children definitely need that calm and storm, because I am the storm. Number 6, baby, if you don't go to God before you go to that man, I promise you, you're going to ruin it all. Stop going to that man with y'all's problems or with your feelings before you talk those feelings out with God. Because I can promise you, when you go to God and you actually talk it out, God shows you what you need to be shown, or approach your partner with such a different mindset, so much more clarity. Stop thinking you about to get 100% of what you want out of somebody, what you feel like you need out of somebody. And you want to know something funny is the 80-20 rule. We really pay attention. The thing we think is 20% is actually the thing we probably need the most. Who God created for you is going to be designed just for you, for who you are and what you're about to go through in life. So at the end of the day, what you deem as 20% is actually the completion of the 80. Because at the end of the day, it's usually things that we need out of our partner that are opposite of who we are, that we don't necessarily always understand, but in hindsight, we're definitely going to see the whole picture. We're definitely going to see God's purpose for the connection. We're definitely going to see what God was thinking when he created this person just for you.
Things I wish someone would have told me before I got married. My husband and I have been together 16 years, married 10. And if I could go back and talk to my younger self, here's what I would say. 1, you are not just marrying a person. You are marrying their childhood. Their coping mechanisms, their family dynamics, their weird money habits, their conflict style, the way they shut down when stressed, the fact that they leave 1 sip of juice in the refrigerator like a sociopath. And they're marrying all of yours too. 2, love is not enough. I know people hate hearing that because it sounds unromantic, but shared values matter more than chemistry long term. Because eventually you stop asking, do we love each other? And start asking, do we want the same kind of life? 3, learn how to fight without becoming cruel. Because every couple fights, but there's a difference between we're frustrated and I'm trying to emotionally destroy you because I'm overstimulated. Marriage is basically 2 exhausted people trying not to psychologically waterboard each other during tax season. 4, you are both going to become completely different people. The person I was at 22, gone. And honestly, thank God, because she thought being emotionally compatible meant liking the same bands. The goal is not to stay the same forever. The goal is, can we keep meeting each new version of each other with curiosity instead of resentment? 5, the little things are not little. The dishes, the forehead kiss, the drive safe, the coffee made for you in the morning, the I picked this up because I thought you'd like it. That's the relationship. Not the anniversary posts, not the wedding photos. Love mostly lives in boring Tuesday behavior. 6, pay attention to how they handle accountability. Because everybody wants honesty until honesty applies to them. Can they apologize without making themselves the victim? Can they hear feedback without turning it into a courtroom drama? Can they repair after conflict? Or does every disagreement become an ego survival mission? Conflict is normal, but defensiveness is what kills intimacy. And 7, your partner cannot be your entire universe. I actually think this destroys a lot of relationships. People stop having individuality, friends, passions, purpose, creativity, mystery. Then suddenly marriage has to provide romance, therapy, identity, healing, security, purpose, best friendship, sexual chemistry, and entertainment forever. Meanwhile, your husband is just standing there trying to eat pretzels in peace. That is too much pressure for one nervous system. In the end, successful marriages are usually 2 people who are willing to grow up instead of just grow older. Drop your best marriage advice in the comments. Let's educate each other.